Welcome to an SFB Addict video. And of course, it always helps to have a dual monitor set up when you play this. I'm going to drag the damage allocation chart across onto the map. So row 410, 310, 510, etc. That'll be the edge of the map. And we'll stay within the first 22. That way we won't have to scroll the map that much. And let me get rid of my pieces window. The only other thing really would be how we're going to use the public and private notes. This is the oddball thing about Vassal, is the simultaneous actions thing is rather tedious. If you're playing somebody with Skype, you can just simply kind of state it kind of thing. But if you want a record of it, you've got to type it into chat, or you've got to use the public-private notes window, and the better way to do it is the public-private notes. So if you click on public-private notes, okay, so you know everything that goes under the... Okay, good. That's the most awkward thing about the Vassal module, is that I'm not satisfied with that. Yep. 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 Okay, so that's pretty much everything. The buttons here across the top for ready, halt, no action, and the individual SOP steps, that's generally for when you don't have Skype. So it saves on typing and gives you a little bit of sound to the game kind of thing. But I'll go ahead and I'll call out the speeds. Are you done doing your energy allocation? Okay, if you right click on your ship, you can go to change label, and that'll actually, and you can actually put in your speed. And you could do the same thing with your SSD directly in your window if you wanted to. This should be, yeah, so one or the other or both kind of thing, whatever you find most convenient. Okay. Yep. Okay, so that would be bookkeeping stage, and then we call out turn 1, impulse 1, and then we go through the sequence of play. I thought I check marked that off. Let me check my configuration. It defaulted everything back in. Let me just get rid of them again. That might have been because you had it open at the same time. There we go. That should do it. Okay, good. It's skipping the steps I told it to skip. And away we go. Now, I could do that every single time and it echoes it into chat. Of course, we can just skip through all those steps saying, I've got no action, you've got no action, and just go through the impulses kind of thing. So that was impulse 1. Let's go to impulse 2. And movement. Yeah, sorry. So go to 202 and then move again for this one. And, yep. Interesting. I'm showing you in 302. Actually, I was about to say, if you go up to Tools and Refresh Counters, you can run the refresh on that, and it should fix it. Yeah. So, again, it's a Vassal thing. And I move. And then next impulse. Both of us move. I'm the slower. Now, on my ship, my arcs are LF and L and RF and R for my disruptors, where yours for your photons are FA. Yep. Okay, next impulse. So if you have any actions you want to do, just say that and we'll stop proceeding through the impulses. I'm still showing you in 302. Yep. Let me run the refresh counters. And I am in 1906. Yep. Okay, so let me right click on your name and I'm going to synchronize to you. I've run the resync. I'm just waiting for the windows to pop back in. No, I'm going to close the window. No, don't, because I didn't save it. Yeah, so let me try getting back in here. I just closed out of everything and opening it all back up. As you can tell, we're both connecting fine over Skype. It's just Vassal that's crashed out. Just yesterday, yeah, it was yesterday or the day before their server went down all day, so. Yep. So my okay, I'm still waiting for it to open up a window to get in. It's running really slow. There we go. I'm just starting in. I'm now seeing your name. Let's see, joining the room. Yep, now I'm waiting for the map to draw, etc. So you've used Vassal plenty of times in the past? Okay, so I've got the map now. I'm showing you in 404 with a side slip, and I'm showing me in 2107, which is where I just moved me. Okay, now let me open up my player SSD windows so I can actually see the SSDs. This is the tedious part about this interface. But it's better than no interface. Yep. Having those SSDs over my right-hand side window rather helps. Okay, and it even closed the SOP calls, so I'll have to open them again. There's one. There's two. Yeah, it's going to have to jump the turn. In chat, what's the last impulse that was just called? And the... If you scroll up, is there a later impulse? Okay, we should be on impulse 4. Something advance to impulse 4.
See impulse 3 now. I see impulse 4.
Okay, and I'm gonna call out impulse 5.
Okay.
So I move and you move.
So I move first move.
Actually, I'm slower, so I move first.
Oh,
I'm 14. You're 16.
yes.
Actually, I'm gonna move your ship back for a second. Hang on, don't panic. And I'm gonna move it forward. There we go. You notice how it's echoing my movements. Archaeotholian has moved from, and it didn't do the same for yours until I moved it.
Yeah, yeah.
For some reason, you have to initiate your movement with the Control Shift number pad in order for the echoing to start.
Oh,
I have no idea why, but apparently it works that way.
every time I do control shift, it moves me around the screen. It gives me home and page up and page down and end.
Yeah, that's the number lock.
Yeah, but with control shift held down, nothing.
Interesting. But I've tried it on my laptop and my Linux at the same time on both, and it's worked on both for me. But this is the second time in a row that I've played an opponent where they're not able to use their number pad at all. So it's just bizarre land. Anyway, so what was the range again? You just measured it. 14.
13.
13. Okay. There we go. So next impulse. I move and you move. And one thing in the module, your turn 1 would be normally your first turn of arming, which means you wouldn't have your photons until the second.
Yes.
Okay, so you are aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Most people are,
Wait.
yeah, most people are used to coming in with their photons held.
Yeah, let me see if I. Oh no, but I did make a mistake. Oh, okay, I see. I made a mistake here. You're right. The photons, yes, okay. So I have actually 20 power available, and I spend 20. Oh no, I did it. Wow, I did it right. I spent 22 power. Never mind. I did give the second arming of my photons. Okay, so no, never mind. It's easy.
Okay, just so you're aware, on turn 1 you're not able to fire. On turn 2 you will have them available to fire. Okay,
So I still have available.
yeah. Just that most people that are Fed players are kind of used to starting at weapon status 3 and held photons.
It's lovely to start at weapon status 3 because then you can just charge your weapon before it accepts damage. No.
Yeah. I was just about to say, if you wanted to assume that, then we could do that. The same thing with the plasma players. Anything else other than a plasma F, you don't have your plasmas. So you have a G Torp or an S Torp, you got to arm them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Anyway, yep. I haven't played plasmas on this yet, and I'm kind of interested to see how it works because they still last the full length, but the turns are 16 impulse turns instead of 32. So they're around for like almost twice as long, kind of thing.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, next impulse. Let's see, 7th impulse. You move and I move.
Very interesting with Tholian. Okay.
I'm showing you in 605.
Yeah, now in 705.
Okay, so on this impulse, let's see, I am going to do something on the launch stage. I have, how many shuttles do I have?
2, I believe.
Yes, I do. They're on the left hand side. So let me clone my shuttle. Actually, I'm just going to put one counter on the map for both of them. I will launch one shuttle and let me rotate that. And I'll set the speed. Should be a label on this one. There it is. I'm going to put the impulse of launch in a bracket.
I see speed 6, impulse 7.
Yep, and I'm going to put in the same hex as my ship. There we go. So it was launch stage. And it's range 9. Okay. Okay, back to calling impulses. Impulse 8. We now have 6s that move. And I move at... No, I don't move at 14. Yes, I do. There we go. And you move. Every impulse. Oh, once you click on the map, it disappears.
There we go.
Okay.
Now in 806.
Yep. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 apart. Okay. Next impulse. Unless you have actions.
Nope.
Only you move.
Side slip.
Okay. Ready for next impulse?
Yep.
I move. And I will side slip. And put my side slip marker down. And you move. Let me think here for a second. Yeah.
That range 5 band, do you?
Well, I'm just thinking there's 6 more impulses left of the turn.
You are taking your 6 shields.
Yeah. Nope, next impulse. So the...
Shuttles.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to launch on the launch stage again here. Clone the shuttle.
Something might be wrong. You have to allocate a point of energy to launch, don't you?
No,
You do not have to allocate a point of energy to launch a shuttle?
no. They're just a physical object that launches. Same thing with a drone. It's a physical object that launches. Now, plasma torpedoes, they have to be armed, and you pay for them, you launch them.
Okay, so shuttles,
The,
yeah, at this point are pretty much gun platforms. So yeah, I'm gonna launch a shuttle too then.
yeah,
Might
let's
as
see.
well. I mean,
And this is impulse 11.
impulse or how do I mark that?
The speed,
Yeah.
you right click and go change label.
Oh, that's right.
Just have to make sure you got it on your shuttle instead of your ship. And when two things are in the same hex, if you double click, it'll let you select which one. If you just click and drag, it'll move everything in the hex.
And that was impulse
11.
Yeah, I discovered the stacking and pulling the stack in the rear with the advanced reader. The actual order of stacking actually is important in transportation. It's anything that's underneath the transportation is arced. So manipulating the stacks of units was a bit of a learning lesson.
Yeah.
All right, so I launched my shuttle.
Okay, so next stage would be fire stage, and it is range.
I think this time straight shoot.
Okay,
That's 4.
yeah, and you've got 4 impulses from launch of the shuttle before it becomes armed. The only weapon that I know of where you have to pay a point to launch it would be a plasma D,
Yeah, D, right?
and I believe it was half a point per.
Half a point. Yes.
Yeah,
All right, well, I can still shoot in both phases.
yeah. And if I remember correctly, you don't have to pay for them when you launch them. You can actually pay for them up front to arm the entire rack. But if you didn't, you can drain battery to arm them at the point of launching.
Yes,
That that's the only weapon that you have to pay in order to be able to use during turn.
so my shuttle will be ready on impulse 4 to shoot.
Yeah,
I'm shooting now.
yeah. And my other shuttle is available now, and my ship is. Let's see, we are range 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just taking a quick gander here. So you just have.
Last chance to use my forward phasing on you. If I don't return.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so you've only got the one phaser one that arcs, and no phaser threes yet. So go ahead, open up your public-private notes, write her all in, and
Oh, okay. Under delayed.
yep.
Okay.
And for the labels, this has to be unique every time you do it, so just put in the turn impulse. So T1, I11, and you can write down fire stage if you want.
Okay. I have done mine.
And then save it.
Okay. Save.
There you go. Now you can go back in and reveal it.
Okay. Let's see. Actions revealed. Okay. Yours is revealed. No fire. Okay. And I am shooting.
Yep. I actually copy mine into the chat. I
How do I do that?
just go back in, highlight it in the text area.
Oh, just it's just a copy paste.
Yeah, hit Control C. Yeah.
Okay.
I've found out that when the synchronization issues happen, you will either lose the log and or the delayed tab history, but if you save your game, you at the very least always keep your chat log. So,
Okay. Now I'm showing it.
yep. So your left side phaser one, go for.
Okay. Phaser one.
Yep.
Does it slow down?
Yep, it does.
Okay. So first one. Goodness, that's. Jesus. There's 2 points.
Yeah.
And second one. 11.
So 7 total.
Yep.
Okay, and that's to my number 1. And I do believe I have 1 reinforcement. So that'll be 6. Let me just drain off 2 battery here. Battery used during turn 2. There we go. So that'll be 4 to the number 1. The SSDs, creating them in this is a bit interesting.
Yeah.
I had to use, when I first made it, I was using, if it's a 16 shield, there would be 16 individual boxes defined, which actually was too much for the client.
Yeah.
It brought everything to a complete screeching halt. It took about 5 minutes for a single box click.
Jesus. Yeah. That's sort of how I feel.
Yeah, and then of course somebody said try just doing one definition and rotating through 16 graphics. To me, it didn't make sense why one would be more memory than the other, but because of the way the Java works, it is. Okay, proceeding on to next impulse. Shuttles don't move, I don't move, you do. Yep, and your next launch
Hang on a second. I'm gonna mark my dude.
slides up over, okay? And your marker, there you go. Next impulse, you will be able to launch your shuttle, but not this impulse. Okay, this is impulse 12, proceeding to impulse 13. Shuttles don't move, I do. And you do.
Okay. I am going to turn.
And your turn marker. There we go.
All right. That's it. I assume I'm going to be finished on that.
Um, no action for me unless you've got action.
Nope.
Okay, next impulse. The shuttles move, and I move. So let me move my ship first. I'll do another side slip. And my shuttles are just going to go forward. And you move, and your shuttles move.
Shuttle moved. I moved.
Did you just turn your shuttle?
I did.
That was the first time it's moved.
Oh, right.
And it's got to go to 1108. There you go. Holy frack, range one. Okie dokie. I'll be
Range one with no phaser.
okay. I'll be firing. So let me open up my public-private notes here. That's turn one. Impulse 14. Fire stage. I have only one disc that arcs. That would be A. And
Two phaser ones, a disruptor, and a phaser three.
yeah, I just had to move my map because my thing came up over top of the counters. I just wanted to double check I'm still in FA. So I got two phaser ones and one phaser three. And that'll be 1,2 for the phaser ones. And that'll be phaser three number one. So a little bit of everything. And saved, and going back in, and revealing, and saving, and pasting.
Okay, so disruptor A, two phaser ones,
If
and
they,
phaser three.
yeah, so that'll be 4 dice in the same order that's written.
Okay. So one disruptor.
I'm still waiting for my dice to show up on my side.
I have
Ah, there we go.
4, 1, 4.
Okay, so it's range of one. That's
For the disruptor for 4 points.
actually it should be for 5 points.
Oh, that's right. Damage 5, damage 5. Okay, and that's on shield 6.
Yep. And the phasers are a 4 and a 1.
5 damage. Okay, I just clicked add 5 damage and I did it on shield 5. I guess I did that wrong. Oh, add damage.
You can just click directly on your SSD one by one. Let me move.
Oh, how nice.
Yep.
Lovely. Okay, so 5 damage to shield 6. And then the 4
One, do me a favor. Move your phaser one table over to the right. Your SSD's covering the die rolls.
nice, nice, nice. There we go.
So
The
the
4 is for 4 points, and the 1 is for another 8 for 12.
yep.
Oh, that's 5 internals.
And do you have any specific reinforcement or battery?
Only on the front. Battery I already used.
Okay, so that
Yeah, 3 are since
so that was 21 total.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you just said that was how many internals? 4.
Yeah, from the phasers, that was a total of 4 more internals, and now the phaser 3, which I haven't calculated yet. You got a 4 on the phaser 3, that's another 4 points, so there you go.
So 8 internals. So let me roll the 8.
No, more than 8. 5 from the disruptor, 11 from the phasers, so, oh no, 4, 8 got 3, you're right. 8 got 3.
It should be 21 minus 12.
Yeah. 9. Yeah, 9. So yeah, 9 for it.
Okay, rolling the dice. Okay, and I'm scrolling the map down so I can see the damage chart. And I'll call them out to you. So it's going to be 2 5s in a row, so that's 2 weapons. You still have 1 shuttle on board your ship unfired, so if you want to take that shuttle as a weapon hit, you can. So that's
I'll take out one of those, and I'll take out one of my phaser 3s, of course.
okay. The next one is a 4, which is a choice of APR, battery, lab, shuttle box, or a transporter.
Lab.
And then we got 3 2s in a row, which is 3 hulls.
Okay.
And then another 6 for APR, battery, lab, shuttle, or tran.
Okay.
And then a 3 for an engine hit, any engine type you want.
Impulse.
And then 2 for another hull.
0 hull now.
And just double
Beating the crap out of it.
and just and double check that you've got 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you're
Okay. Didn't expect the range 1.
don't know why I did. I'm kind of wondering why. I'm sort of sitting here going, okay, Chris, why the
it's a good way to get used to knowing how to do everything.
Yeah, commit the basic mistakes. I mean, the game's ending, dead.
Well, your photons are still there, so
My photons are still there, but
well,
we know that's not true.
depending on maneuvering, maybe not. But anyway, let's at least finish the turn. Let's see, it's 15, so shuttles don't move. I do, and then you do. So this is where we're going to be kind of interesting. So I'm going to. I'm on 1, 2, 3 of my turn mode, so I can turn. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me drag my turn marker over.
Problem is, your snare fires at the back of the turn.
It's left and right, so it's either side.
I
Uh,
thought your snare was center.
it is and isn't. If you read the note, the snare arc is directly to the rear until side slips are taught.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Oh, now it is left side.
yeah, in the real cadet game, I don't think side slips are actually ever taught in, and if I remember correctly, it's just something that's so simple that I just threw it in, kind of thing. It's moved to the side as a slip.
Got it.
Okay, and the shuttles do not move, but my first shuttle is armed,
Yes, and so is mine, actually.
and that would be
Pain
yeah,
is launched on left.
yeah. Okay, so um, yep, my shuttle will be firing, and it'll be firing at your ship. So let's open up the pulp private notes. Turn 1, impulse 15, fire stage. My shut I7 fires. That's the other annoying thing is having to go back in to open it up to then click reveal.
Actually, hang on a sec, because I'm not going to be actually shooting this battle. So, new. Let me see if I can do this right. Turn one, impulse 16.
It's impulse 15.
Oh, it's impulse 15. Okay, and now I'll go back in and reveal that. There it is, reveal. Alright, so the shuttle is firing, and I'm firing my phaser 3 first. The phaser 3 front. I should have specified the rear firing phaser 3 on the stinking starship. Because I have not had enough coffee.
That's fine. And I actually noticed you put it up on the label instead of actually inside the contents, but that's okay. We understand what it means. It is. And my phaser in the public-private notes, you've actually got it up on the
Oh, I did. Oh, whoops. Yeah.
yeah. So if I click on it, it actually says text message not revealed.
Hmm. Weird.
And your previous one on turn one I11 is not revealed either. You want to just highlight both of those and click reveal and click save.
Oh, you have to save it after you reveal it?
Yep.
Ah.
But
Okay, now you should be able to see it.
yep, now you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to roll my shuttle, which is firing through your down shield, which is a 6 at range 2, which is 1 internal. That's a bad roll.
Oh, thank God. And I am firing my phaser 3 at the back of your number 6 shield. Oh, I got a 1. That's good. At range 1, that's 4 damage. Stinking Tholians with their long shields. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they're actually pretty decent.
Tholians have very nice all-around shielding. That is one problem. Alright, so the internal, what does it do?
But it's a 2, and let me scroll down.
What's that?
That's a hull.
I have no more hulls, so hold
Then
on.
it's an APR battery, lab, shut, or tran if you have any.
Yeah, I'll go with Transport. Alright.
And that's it. Um, but their actual firing arcs are kind of
Are weird, yeah.
As you know, I've got an arm disruptor. I wasn't able to fire at you. Okay, so that was impulse 15. So impulse 16. Let's see, I went forward, so I will side slip. Let me grab my side slip marker. And then the shuttles, and you will move. So you're a ship, so you'll move first, and then the shuttles.
Let's see where the ship goes here. Ooh, I'm taking my turn marker with me. Let me go back.
Actually, that was my turn
Let's
marker.
go ship. There we go.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Yeah, top of the turn. And all the good news is that that's going to be... I'll go there with my shuttle. And your shuttle?
Yeah, I'm with my shuttle.
Okay. So on fire stage,
I can set the face on that shuttle for you.
did you take that shuttle hit as a weapon hit?
Oh,
And your shuttle's dead.
yes. That should be
Yep. Okay.
you got it.
So I'm going to open up the public private notes for fire stage. So turn 1, I 16. Okay, I'm done.
We're overthinking. Okay, do I have to save that, right? Now I have to go back and drift. Alright, yeah, I'm done, and I am in reveal. No,
And pasting fire. So
it does not seem to want to... It reveals the message, but it doesn't seem to put it up in the...
in the
it
chat,
does not go into the chat, yeah.
no, you have to copy and paste it for that.
Oh, it's all copy and paste.
Yep. That's something I wish it would do, but it doesn't. You have to either open the window and look at it, or if you're being nice for your opponent, you copy it and paste it when you reveal it.
So, phase of 3, 2 shuttle, I-11 Federation shuttle. So, fired 2 phaser 3s at my shuttle,
Which kills it.
range 1.
Yep.
And I'm firing 1 phaser 3 at your shuttle on range 1 with escort range. Oh
If
no, I gotta roll that.
Yeah, you got to roll. You can do up to 6.
I can do up to 6. Phaser 3.
Sorry, yeah, 4 range 1. Yep.
So if it does 6, it does 4 damage.
Actually, okay. I was actually thinking of an ADD shot. You
Uh, sure.
Yeah. So that will reduce me to speed 3 as cripple.
Wow, I get everything. That's awesome.
Yeah, on your sheet you can mark damage on your shuttles.
Yes, I see that. That's great.
So if you click where it says shut 1, shut 2,
Shut 2, yes.
it'll if you just click where it says shut 2, it marks the entire thing all at once, kind of thing.
Okay. So all my shuttles are dead now?
Yeah. And that would be impulse 16, the end of turn. So if you want
No, disengage.
it, I was about to say,
I am not going past this level 3 to the end. I like to put myself in a position of thinking, okay, if I'm the captain of this starship, what would I do? I would frickin' disengage like mad and get the hell out of here.
yeah, because if you turn left, you're putting a down shield toward me.
Yeah, we did one fire pass. I had everything on, and now I'm going to what? Because the captain isn't smart as me, I've done this whole battle. That's very good. I like this.
Yeah.
This is good. Yeah, there's definitely some. The shell does have some weirdness. I see that. Yeah, that drift hub notes is a bit odd.
Yeah. There,
In games where you do have to utilize a lot of that with indirect fire and stuff like this, then
if I knew JavaScript, I'd make a unique window for it, but I don't know JavaScript.
I have not learned Java. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's
And,
see.
And apparently now they're moving it over to a completely different platform, so there'd be no point in learning it to do it just for this.
They're recoding now.
Apparently they're about 20% done of recoding. Um,
So you don't have to worry about it for another 3 years. Well, dude, I downloaded 3.15 like 18 months ago. And when I went to, I didn't even remember that I still had it installed on my machine. And then I can't remember who it was that oh, I remember. I watched a tutorial video with Volko and Mark doing Fire in the Lake. And they were playing it on Joel's godlike Fire in the Lake version. Have you seen that?
no, I haven't.